Hello everyone and welcome to Making Tracks, a web series about multi-use and ATV trails in the Clarenville region. Today we're going to take a trip to the Sabena Crash site. First, a little bit of history for context. On September 17, 1946, a Sabena Airlines DC-4 with 44 people on board took off from Shannon Ireland en route to New York. As was normal at the time, planes normally landed in Gander to refuel, and such was the case with this particular aircraft. On the morning of September 18th, the plane started coming in towards Gander in very poor weather conditions. The pilots became disoriented, and the plane unfortunately crashed in the woods approximately 35 kilometers south of Gander. Now, fortunately, 17 people survived the crash. There was a tremendous effort over the next few days in order to find the plane and to rescue the survivors. The people who had died were buried on site. So the site right now is a graveyard, and it's a protected site by the Newfoundland Labrador government. Many people visit the site, and it is challenging to get to. However, with the introduction of the Labrador Island Link Trailway, you can certainly get there more easily than you ever could, particularly in the summer. So what we're going to do today is to take you to that site and show you how to get there and give you a sense of what it's like. For easy explanation, I'm going to break the trip to the Sabena site into 5 components. The first component from Clarenville, assuming that you start at Shoal Harbour Drive on the trailway, it's 49 kilometers drive to Terra Nova. When you're in Terra Nova, you go up the Terra Nova access road, 16.5 kilometers, and there you'll intersect the Labrador Island Link transmission line, and you turn right and you go up there for 62.5 kilometers. 62.5 kilometers down the transmission line, you will see a sign on the right hand side that says Sabena. There you take a trail in. It's a tight trail for about 2 kilometers, and there's a parking area there. You can choose to park there, or you can try to get up the 1.4 kilometer trail that goes right up to the crash site. It's a little bit rocky and a little bit rough, so I'd advise you to walk it, but you can drive it. Trailway is in great shape, so you can easily get to Terra Nova along the trailway, and here you can see us going through Port Blandford and past Port Blandford, under the bridge that is under Trans-Canada Highway at Port Blandford. This then will bring you up to the beautiful Northwest River Bridge, along further right up to the town of Terra Nova, and that, as I say, is a total of 49 kilometers. Okay, once at Terra Nova, you go up the Terra Nova access road for 16.5 kilometers, and that will bring you up past 8 Mile Bridge, and you'll eventually intersect the Trans Island Link, which you turn right and go up. The Trans Island Link component of the trip, the 62.5 kilometers, is pretty straightforward. It's just a straight drive down that road. There's a little part where it weaves off the transmission line in order to cross the bridge on the Triton Brook River, but otherwise you're going right along that transmission line. You're almost bound to see some wildlife along that road, so keep your eyes out. We saw lots of great things, lots of nice places to see, some nice crossings and the like. And eventually at the 62.5 kilometer mark, you will coming down and you'll see this road here on the right that turns in. You'll see Sabena written on the sign. You go in this trail about 2 kilometers, and it's pretty tight, so watch out for other machines coming in the opposite direction. You can see it's tight here, so you can get in there pretty easily. There's a couple little humps and bumps, but not too bad. There's a parking area at the end of the 2 kilometers, and from there you'll see this rocky trail that goes up to the crash site. That's 1.4 kilometers. You can walk it, or you can try to get your machine up there. It's quite a sight when you get up there. This is almost 80 years later, and you can still see the carnage that happened with that plane crash. This site and the grave sites that are around it are known as St. Martin's in the Woods. It's named after Dr. Martin, who was one of the people that went in to help the survivors. Anyway, we took some footage here. It's not unusual to find people in here. There's always a lot of people around. This overview shot will give you an idea of what you're going to be looking at inside. It's amazing how isolated that spot is, you know, in terms of it is in the middle of nowhere, literally. And there's very few, unlike most places in Newfoundland have lots of ponds and things, there's very few ponds or rivers around. And this is what made the rescue back in 1946 so difficult, is that there really was no place to land a plane or to get people out of that area. And it made it that much more challenging. Anyway, so the Sabena Crash site is certainly worth going to. It's kind of surreal to see how much damage could be done when a plane crashes, and the fact that anyone survived at all was a bit of a miracle. Remember, this is a grave site and it is a preserved site, so everything that's in there stays in there. The provincial government has some signage up, and obviously in the grave sites you will see the names of the people who died. Please respect that. Anyway, that was our trip. I hope you take an opportunity to see it for yourself.